Excellent. All right, welcome again. Just very quickly, I am going to go over one or two housekeeping issues here before we jump into the presentation. To begin with, my name is John Indiatsi. I currently serve as the Assistant Dean in the graduate school here at UTE El Paso. We are very happy and pleased to have you this afternoon joining us for this wonderful opportunity. And with me, I have a team of people who work very hard on these opportunities to share information with you, guide you through and support you for the entire time you will be doing your application. So I want to spare 2 or 3 minutes to just give them an opportunity to introduce themselves to you. And then I will go over what we'll be talking about today and then go from there. So very quickly, Olivia.
Dr. Indiatsi, thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, for attending this session. Thank you for having us this afternoon. My name is Olivia Mogollon, and I'm the I'm the Director of Programs at ConTex, and I will be talking to you about this great opportunity, which is the ConTex-Secihti Doctoral Fellowship. Thank you, Dr. Indiatsi.
You're welcome. Laura?
Hi, everybody. My name is Laura Miranda. I'm the Senior Coordinator for the Research, Innovation, and Impact Division in the College of Engineering. It's very nice to meet you all.
Thank you, Laura. Leslie?
Hi, I'm Leslie. I'm with the graduate school, and I'm the Coordinator of Student Success, and thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Leslie. Travis?
Hi, it's great to be here. My name is Travis Magruder. I am the Communications Specialist at Contex, kind of their contact point.
And last but not least, Marianne?
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Dr. Marianne Long, and I am the Director of Postdoctoral Affairs and Graduate Student Fellowships for the graduate school here at UTEP.
Thank you. Thank you all and welcome again. So for the participants, we don't have any requirement for you to be on camera. If you want to be on camera, feel free to do so. If you are uncomfortable being on camera, that is fine as well. The only thing we will ask you to do is please, if you can mute yourself, but in case you have any question you want to ask and you want to speak, feel free to unmute yourself and speak or raise your hand, and we will call your name and you can ask your question. Secondly, during the presentation, you should be very free to ask your questions through the chat. You can type in. My team here will be responding to your questions as we go. But if we'll have any that we feel we need to speak to the rest of the team, we will do so as well. So please go ahead and mute yourselves. So very quickly, I just want to run through the agenda for the day. We've gone through the welcomes and introductions. Next, we will have our guest presenter here, Dr. Olivia Mogollon, going over all the requirements for this wonderful fellowship, the call for applications, the components you need to put in your application, eligibility requirements, so that you are clear in your mind whether you qualify to go through the process of application or not. She will share with you all those details. We are also expecting a guest speaker. She's not yet here yet, but we do have a student here at UTEP who is one of the beneficiaries of this fellowship, went through this application a couple of years ago and was lucky to be nominated. Is attending UTEP via the funding from CECITI, formerly Conahcyt. If they get here, we will have an opportunity for them to speak to you, to share with you their experience, how they hacked it, and then we will open the floor for Q&A. But in case she's not here, we will find a way of filling in that slot. Without further ado, Olivia, if there is nothing I have skipped here, please take over.
Thank you, Dr. Indiatsi. And once again, thank you to the graduate school. Thank you, Laura Miranda and the College of Engineering at UTEP. It is a pleasure for me, for Contex, to be present here today to talk about the Doctoral Fellowship that is, we've been working on for several years, and which is the product of a collaboration between UT system and Mexico's Secretaría de Ciencia, Humanidades, Tecnología e Innovación, CECITI, which was formerly Conahcyt. So this program, ConTex, was established in 2016 with the aim of fostering collaborations in research and academics between Texas and Mexico. So that's how the whole process started. That's how the program started. In a nutshell, once again, our partners, UT System, which is one of the largest systems of higher education in the United States. It has 14 institutions, out of which UTEP is one of them. Out of those 14 institutions, 8 institutions are general academic institutions, and 6 are medical schools, medical institutions. So that tells you a little bit about the breadth of the programs that we offer and the fields of study that are eligible for our fellows and our scholarship recipients. The other partner is, like I had mentioned, CECITI, formerly Conahcyt, which is the institution in Mexico that governs and formulates national policy on science, technology, humanities. So 2 big partners that came together to create a program to foster and support research and academics between Texas and Mexico. Out of those programs, we've had postdoctoral fellowships, we've had collaborative research grants, and we've had, since 2017, the Doctoral Fellowships program. And that's the one I want to focus on right now. That's the one that's we're interested at the moment. And in a nutshell, and I think this says a lot, we've had 125 doctoral fellowships awarded since 2017, so 2017 through 2024. At this time, we are working on the 2025 cohort. But I want to point out, because you all are at UTEP, and this is incredible, out of those 125, 45 have been awarded. 45 fellowships have been awarded to UTEP students. That's 1/3 of the fellowships have gone to UTEP. That speaks volumes of the quality of your programs and the quality of your applications, the applications that you have submitted. We have currently 79 fellows at 7 of the UT system institutions. And once again, look at that, 33 are at UTEP. And out of all the people who have gone through the program, we've had 38 graduates, 8 have come out of UTEP, and we're expecting 5 more this upcoming semester just from UTEP. So kudos to all the UTEP community, all the ConTex-UTEP community, because that's the end goal for all of us, right? To see our fellows graduate with a PhD degree. So congratulations on that. I'm going to go briefly over, the eligibility criteria and the steps to apply for the grant, so that in the end, we'll have time to go over your questions and if you have any concerns. But what I would say is very simple, honestly. What are the eligibility criteria or the requirements to apply for a CECITI ConTex fellowship? Just 2, really. One, in order to apply, you have to already have been accepted to a doctoral program, and 2, applicants must have Mexican citizenship. Dual citizenship is accepted, so if you have US and Mexican citizenship, you are eligible to apply, but you must have Mexican citizenship to be eligible to apply. This makes all the sense in the world, because it's a program supported by Mexico's taxpayers. So the program wants to make sure that the beneficiaries will come back and contribute to the development of the country eventually once they finish. There's an additional eligibility criteria, but this is just for students who may have received support from CECITI, formerly Conahcyt, if they had received support for their master's students, then these students must have their what in Spanish or CECITI calls Carta de Liberación, which is basically a certification from CECITI that all previous commitments with them have been satisfied before a student is allowed to apply for the doctoral fellowship. So basically, two main eligibility criteria. And then what are the categories of support? What is it that the fellowship entails? And it's a generous packet of support. So it's students, fellows, awardees receive up to 5 years of funding. 4 years are paid by CECITI, and the 5th year, if the student requires it to finish their doctoral program, is paid by UT system through ConTex. So the level of support for this year, for 2025, is $9,667 US dollars per year. And another thing that's important to point out at this time is that per the agreement between Conahcyt, CECITI, and UT system, all beneficiaries of the ConTex-CECITI fellowship, the scholarship, receive in-state tuition. So regardless of whether a student has a position as a GRA or a TA, if students are ConTex fellows, they receive in-state tuition throughout the duration of the scholarship, so up to 5 years. Different institutions, and it's just relevant to talk about this right now, but since this is a fellowship that's offered to students in all of the UT system institutions, the different universities have different methods of providing in-state tuition for their students. But at UTEP specifically, students are granted in-state tuition through the PASE program. So this is important that once you receive the scholarship, you get in touch with the Office of International Programs at UTEP or the office that manages the PASE program, and you let them know that you received a ConTex-CECITI fellowship. And I know that there's paperwork that students have to fill out in order to receive PASE. So that's something that I'm not qualified to talk about in detail, but I'm sure that the people in charge at UTEP can tell you more about it. But that's basically the process. Tuition is per year, and it cannot roll over from year to year, and it cannot be transferred from tuition to another category of support. So this is specifically for tuition. Another category of support is a monthly stipend of $1,100 per month if the awardee is single, or $1,375 if the awardee has dependents. And this is paid directly to the student in a checking account directly to the student from CECITI. And then the last category of support is a small amount of support towards health insurance. The Conahcyt provides $715 per year for an awardee who is single, and it increases depending on the number of dependents. But what I can tell you is that it's definitely not enough to pay the full amount or the full cost of health insurance, but it's support towards health insurance. In terms of health insurance, it's also important for you, applicants and students, to get in touch with the appropriate office at UTEP to see how you registered and whether it's mandatory for Mexican students at UTEP to hold health insurance in the United States or not. But that, like I said, is something that you would have to talk to the appropriate office at UTEP about this. Two important things regarding the categories of support. This year, Conahcyt changed their call a little, and they opened two types of scholarships. So type 1 and type 2, nothing fancy. But I strongly recommend that every applicant, even if they think that they may have support or a position as a GRA or a TA that may cover tuition, I recommend that every applicant of the ConTex-Secihti Fellowship that they apply for a type 1 scholarship, which includes support for tuition. And I say this because, things happen. So you may not have support from your department or college throughout all of the semesters or throughout all the years. The level of support may vary. So if you have the support from Secihti for tuition, it's guaranteed at this level for up to 5 years. So, be on the safe side and request support for tuition. The other thing that I cannot stress enough is that every applicant requests the maximum amount, so the 9,667. You may think that at this time, maybe, you'll have in-state tuition, and you think that tuition per year may be lower than this amount, but you never know. And there's inflation, and you may decide that you want to take a few more classes. So my recommendation always is request the maximum amount. The way that the scholarship works is by reimbursement. So if you don't use the maximum amount on a certain semester, it doesn't matter. We won't bill Conahcyt for it or Secihti for it, but you have it available in case you need it. And then the other thing that's really, really important, maybe more important than the amount, is that students request the maximum the maximum number of months that they're eligible for of support. So if you're an incoming student, if you're just going to start your doctoral program at UTEP in fall 2025, you can request up to 48 months of support, which is 4 years. If you're going to start in fall of 2025, your second year, then you can request 36 months, which is 3 years, or 24 months if you're starting your third year. And the reason why I say this is that in case you need your support from ConTex on the 5th year, we cannot provide, or we will automatically provide that additional year of support if you already have the full number of months or the full length of support from Secihti. But if you don't have it, you're going to have to request an extension of your Secihti scholarship. And sometimes, they take time. Normally they approve it, but I've seen some cases where they don't approve it. So, to avoid any problems at the end of your scholarship, just request the maximum amount of months from the beginning. If you have questions about what that number would be, please feel free to contact me, and I'll be happy to talk to you on a one-on-one basis, and we can discuss your specific, case. But as a general rule, just like I said, request 48, 36, or 24 months, depending on where you're at with your program. Moving on to the priority areas, I summarized them. I'm not breaking down all the larger categories. As you can see, I just said engineering, but in this case, it applies to every field in engineering, right? So civil, electrical, engineering, biomedical engineering. When I talk about humanities, it includes music, it includes art, social sciences, economics, political science. So as you can see, this is a pretty broad sample of areas that are supported. The only areas that I haven't been supported are business and finance. That's not something that CECITI has funded before. But in general, the rest of the areas of knowledge, I've seen people receive scholarships. So I would recommend two things in this regard. First, if you have questions about your specific area of study, just get in touch with CECITI directly. They have contact information on the second to last page of the call. Email them, call them, and ask, hey, I'm in this specific area. Am I eligible to apply? And I would say, in 99% of the cases, if you're not in doing business or finance, most probably is that you will be eligible to apply. Another way to give yourself an idea of what has been funded is I would recommend you go to the ConTex website, and I'll give you I'll show you the URL on the next slide. But you can go to our website and you can see our list of previous awardees. So you can see what area of study they're in and when they received the scholarship. That gives you an idea of what Conahcyt is funding. But bottom line, if you have any questions, just get in touch with them directly and confirm. Now, application steps, and they're pretty straightforward. 3 steps. The first one, and we had mentioned it before, apply and be admitted to a doctoral program at a UT system institution. So in order to apply for the CECITI ConTex scholarship, you must have already been admitted to a doctoral program. I have to point out something else here, and I know that some of you may be applying for master's programs, or that you may be in your master's programs right now. So a clarification in this regard, the CECITI call is open to graduate studies. So they include master's and doctoral studies. So you can apply directly to the CECITI fellowship as a master's applicant or a master's student, and you may get the support. And then what would happen is that CECITI would pay UTEP directly, not through ConTex, but the CECITI would pay UTEP directly. And I know that there are several students in that situation already at UTEP that are master's students funded by Conahcyt. So just a clarification in that regard. But in order to, join ConTex, be a part of ConTex, you have to be a doctoral student. And, I'm going to take the opportunity to ask and encourage master's students to consider, after you finish your program, to consider going into the PhD. And then please get in touch with us and let us know about your intention so that we can support you with your application to the fellowship, and also invite you to join ConTex. So first step, be admitted to a doctoral program at any of the UT system institutions, at UTEP in this case. Register with ConTex, and there's the address to our website. And this is a one-pager, very simple registration form. We're just asking for your name, contact information, the program that you're interested in, the institution that you're interested in, and basically just to be aware and give you support throughout the time from the moment that you're applying to the fellowship and until you hopefully get the support and then help you with formalizing or setting up your scholarship. And then the last step, and it's basically what we're talking about right now, is apply to and be awarded a CECITI scholarship. Here's the link, and we're going to share this presentation with the graduate school, and I know that the graduate school is going to forward it to you, so you'll have the link to the CESIHTI website where you can download the call, you can look at the call, and other supporting documents. So they have a guide that's pretty useful to, it tells you what the requirements are, or it helps you understand what you need to fill in every particular field. So it's important that you look at the call and the rest of the supporting documents. And then, well, what are the requirements for this application for the call? We are obviously not going to go through all the details of the call right now. It's too detailed, very specific. But out of all the years that we've been doing this, and this is since 2017, so this is my 9th year working on this, I've discovered that there are 4 main recommendations that I would give applicants. First of all, and it sounds very obvious, but believe me, once you are working on your application, it may not be as obvious. So read the call in detail. Like when I say in detail, it's every page, and pay attention to every point. And then follow the requirements exactly as the call says. So an example, on the letter of acceptance, the call says the letter of acceptance needs to include the exact date of the start of your program. So if your letter says, the program starts in August 2025, they will reject that letter. The letter has to say the start of the program is, and I'm making this up, August 23rd of 2025. The letter must also include the duration of the program. So in that case, you can have a duration, and it has to go based on the program of studies. But if the program of studies is a 4-year program, then you have to say, starting on August 23rd, 2025 through 2029, or if it's a 5-year program through 2030. So be very careful that all your documents have all the information that's required. I'm going to mention something right now that we were discussing previously with Dr. Indiazzi. The letter that students receive, the general template of the letter that students receive as acceptance letter, does not include all the information that Conahcyt is requesting. So Dr. Indiazzi recommended, and please, Dr. Indiazzi, if you have any comment right now, please feel free to jump in, to please get in touch with him to get this letter that will be used, to complement the official notification that you received from UTEP. And Dr. Indiazzi, I think you want to jump in, right?
Yes, absolutely. But before I do, just one quick question. Louise is asking, are they using the same application for master's and doctoral?
For master's as with the doctoral application?
Yes.
Is that the question? Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you, Louise. That's a really good question. So basically, it's the same call, and the requirements for master's and doctoral studies, the information, the documentation that CESIHTI requires is very similar. There are a couple of different, or at least, there's one important difference, and I'm going to jump into it right now. So the second point in, the recommendations is take in consideration the priority areas. We had already talked about that. So if you have questions, just, contact Conahcyt. And the third point, and this is the difference between the main difference between a master's application and a PhD or a doctoral application. So for master's, Conahcyt does not require a research pre-proposal. But for doctoral applications, Conahcyt does require a draft of a proposal. That's what they call a pre-proposal. So it's not obviously a final research proposal. It's something that you're working on, but it has to make sense in terms of your field. It has to make sense in terms of your area of interest. So just to clarify another thing, I don't know why, because on the call last year, on the actual call, it did say that for doctoral applicants, a pre-proposal, a research proposal was required. And this year it doesn't say so on the actual call. But if you go into the guide that I was mentioning, and you look at it in detail, what happens is you submit your application on a platform. So everything is submitted online, right? And on the actual platform, there is a field where Conahcyt requires from doctoral applicants a pre-proposal of no more than 3 pages. So even if you're a doctoral applicant, even if the actual document of the call does not say anything about the proposal, please be prepared to submit one of no more than 3 pages. Make sure you take care of this, because it's an important requirement. And right now I'm going to mention why. So the evaluation process of your applications goes through 2 steps. The first step is the administrative review, right? And that's more related to the first 2 bullets right here, the first 2 items. So Conahcyt, through their administrative review, wants to see that you met all the requirements, that you submitted all the documents with the information that they requested, that all the signatures are correct, that you turned in they request simple translations to Spanish of the acceptance letter and the program of study. So you had to submit that. And so when I say simple translation to Spanish, what I mean is you don't have to send it to be translated. You can translate it yourself. But that's a requirement. And those are a few of the requirements that the call has. So the administrative review will take a look at that, right? And once they see that you fulfilled all the requirements, the administrative requirements, you'll pass the administrative review, and they'll send it to academic evaluation. So this is where the pre-proposal is important. And this is where the essays that they'll ask for also play an important part. So we've already talked about the pre-proposal. It's a research proposal or the first drafts or a first approximation to a proposal that makes sense in terms of your discipline, in terms of your specific research interests. I strongly recommend that you work with on this proposal with your mentor, if you already have one at UTEP, or with a professor in your field that you may know from Mexico. But it's important that this proposal is as strong as possible, because the academic evaluation is going to be strongly based on this. And then on 2 other things, which are essay questions. And these essay questions apply to master's and PhD applicants. So take note, if you're a master's applicant, they will also ask you to answer these questions. And they're 2 basic questions. So first is why do you justify, why is it important for you to study that specific program in that specific field at UTEP? Why not stay in Mexico? So you have to highlight the strengths of the program and the uniqueness of the program. Why coming to UTEP and why spending money on you to go abroad makes sense. So you have to make a strong case for that. And that's why I also recommend that you get in touch, that you coordinate with your mentor or a professor at UTEP that can help you understand this important component, right? What are the strengths of the program? And the other essay question relates to what they call plan de reincorporación. So your plan of going back to Mexico and contributing to the development of the country with your new skills, with your new degree. So what could you do once you go back to Mexico with this new knowledge that you've acquired? So focus, obviously, in terms of the administrative review, that you have all the details, and in terms of the academic evaluation, that you make a strong case for your research and a strong case for why your program is the best program where to go, and you have a clear, solid, and path to go back to Mexico and make a difference over there once you graduate. In terms of the timeline to submit the application, right now the call is open for receiving applications. It opened on March 17th, and applications close on May 23rd. So May 23rd at 11:59 p.m. Mexico time, Mexico City time. After that, they won't receive any application. So please, please, please don't leave it until the very last minute. Make sure that you submit your application beforehand, to avoid possible problems, technical issues on the day off. I've seen, on previous years where everybody's trying to log in their application and the platform just freezes. So don't do that. Turn it in as soon as possible when you have, your quality, strongest application with all the documents submitted as soon as possible. Conahcyt, I think it was 2 years ago, introduced this corrections period, which I think has been awesome, incredible. And they've been lengthening it, but basically it's, they call it periodo de inconsistencias for when you see it on your, on the call. And it's basically a time where Conahcyt gives you one chance to correct mistakes. So it's just one round of corrections. Conahcyt will get back with applicants and let them know, hey, your letter is missing this, or you're missing the translation, or, so pay attention to that. Make sure during this period of time that you are on the lookout for communications from CESITI. Look at your spam inbox. I've had students who tell me, I didn't receive anything. And then they look at their spam inbox and the message was there. So make sure to keep an eye out for that. Also keep an eye out for the status of your application online. So if it doesn't move from it's in process to under review, it means that there's still something missing. So be proactive and ask Conahcyt. But during this period of time, you have one opportunity to make corrections. And if they tell you you're missing this and that, and you had two issues that you had to address, but you only address one, they will not give you another chance. So make sure to take care of everything during this time period. Results are announced on August 8th, and then the deadline to accept the award is March 31st. And this is where I'm going to conclude, letting you know that this date, March 31st, is an important date because it gives you options. So if for any of you, the option of starting a PhD at in the US is not a possibility unless you are certain that you got the CESITI scholarship, well, it's going to be hard because they'll announce the results on August 8th and classes start end of August, right? But you can always have the opportunity, or you have the chance to submit an application on this cycle. And if your program allows it, then you can start in the spring, because you'll have until March 31st to tell Conahcyt, yes, I'm going to accept the support, and to go through the whole process of formalizing. So make sure to ask your program if starting in the spring would also be an option, in case you want to be certain that you're going to be having the CESITI context support before you start. And I'm going to leave it here. I don't know if Valeria's here.
Yes,
She
yes,
is?
Olivia.
Valeria is here.
Great.
Yeah, before I bring her in, let me just talk about the letter real quickly, and then we will allow Valeria to share her experience with us. So, as Olivia mentioned, you will be requiring a letter of support from the graduate school, and it will be me giving you that letter. In the chat, I am putting in 2 email addresses that you will use to contact us. I have given you my work email, and I have given you a general UTEP graduate school funding email. You can use either of those. They will all come to me. So what you will do in this email, just make it short. Tell me you are interested in applying to the Conahcyt-Secihti Fellowship. I'll want you to give me your full names. If you already have a student ID, a UTEP student ID, that is very, very critical. I will need it to confirm the program you've been admitted into and any other details I may need. So please be sure to share your student ID as well. Mention the program you've been admitted into. If it's a master's level, let me know. If it's a doctoral level, let me know. And the exact major you've been accepted into. It will really help if you can email me from your student email. If you already have one, a UTEP email, it really helps if you send an email from your official student account. But if you don't have it yet, then yeah, use any other email you have. The reason why it is important to use a student email if you have it is there are times when general emails like Gmail, Yahoo, and so on go into, the other folders that I really don't have access to regularly. And I may not know that those emails have been filtered into, the junk mail and so on. So you'll be waiting for me to respond to you, yet I have no clue you emailed me. So, and you can see we are beginning to look at very tight deadlines. So let us keep it straight, easy for you and me. Send it to any of those 2 email addresses I've given you. Try to use your student email if you have it. Very importantly, give me your student ID. We share names. You will be surprised, maybe in the same program you have 3, 4 people who have the exact same names. So it becomes very difficult for me to pull your record and confirm that you've been admitted into this program. This is how much it will cost you. This is how long you're looking at before you can finish your degree. So I will be writing those letters for you, but I need you to help me with the information I need to do those letters. I want to stop here for now, invite Valeria to share with you her experiences, and we'll continue to respond to your questions as we go. So feel free to put them in the chat if you have any. Valeria?
Yes, thank you, Dr. Indiazzi. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes, thank you.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much for having me here today, Dr. Indiazzi, Olivia, and all the ConTex and UTEP team. Well, and I believe that these kind of meetings are very important to solve any questions or even have the important or necessary information to go ahead and apply for this very helpful scholarship, which is the CCT and ConTex scholarship. So, well, I would like to talk a little bit about me. I joined UTEP during the fall of 2022, and I am part of the PhD in Teaching, Learning, and Culture program. I'm from Mexico, from Ciudad Juárez. So basically, I live on the border area of El Paso, Ciudad Juárez, and now I am part of the UTEP students. So I really believe that Olivia and Dr. Indiazzi covered a lot of very, very important stuff in order to apply for this scholarship or this ConTex-Secihti application. But I would like to highlight some important stuff as well, because sometimes when you apply for this kind of, or if it is your first time or your second time of applying for these important scholarships, maybe you missed some details and then you have troubles, getting solutions, and because you are short in time and so on. So I would like to say that one of the most important highlights I have is take your time when you apply for anything. Even if we talk about joining UTEP as a student, you need time to join UTEP to have everything in order, to have everything in time, because you have to take your test, English tests, and maybe have your funding, if you have a sponsor, if you have a room sponsor. So you have a lot of things you have to get in order to be admitted, not only to your program, but also to apply for PASE program or so on. So take your time. I can share with you that it took me maybe 1 year and a half prior to joining UTEP to get all my stuff together, my recommendation letters and so on. So read all the details of your program carefully, and then if you're going to apply, if you already were admitted to UTEP, congratulations. I know it is a very tough, maybe sometimes difficult journey, but you're there. And the next thing I like to share is that it is important for me. It has been having the Conahcyt context, formerly Conahcyt, now CECITI context scholarship has been very, very helpful. It gives me a peace of mind when it comes to paying my tuition, to having these funding available for me, and also it is a peace of mind in all other aspects, because Olivia is, and the context team is always very helpful when you're in trouble, when you need something, when you have questions, and they really help you out to solve things. So in that sense, I believe that even though the process of getting to UTEP or getting into a CECITI application could be hard sometimes, the context application per se is very easy or very smooth when you have everything already there. If you have your application ready, if you have your documents ready, context makes things very easy for you, or it is a very smooth process to get there if you have everything sorted out. So I really feel that's another of the highlights context has in order to support the students. And I would like to say that things are changing, and I believe that Olivia made a very important statement when she told us about the applying for the correct scholarship in terms of type 1, if I'm not wrong, that gives you or grants you the full tuition situation. And when I'm telling you that things are changing, is because sometimes we rely on because as you already know, as context awardees, we can also have we can also be graduate assistants or research assistants as well. And when you are an RA, our teaching assistant, or our graduate assistant, the College of Education or the program you joined can help you with tuition, but it is not a permanent thing, as Olivia said. Sometimes you can be lucky enough to have an RA for the whole term of your doctoral degree or your master's degree, but that is changing as well, because I can tell you that it has to do with funds. So sometimes you can have an RA or sometimes you don't. So that's why having the context gives you that peace of mind, or gives you that you are not going to be concerned about paying for your tuition, because they are going to have your back. So that's why I encourage you to also, as Olivia said, to have the correct tuition scholarship type 1 in those terms. So I also would like to say that no, I don't know, maybe one of the advice I can give you is that when you apply to the CECITI, as Olivia said, read everything carefully. And I think that's linked to the take your time, because if sometimes we miss things, and that's when things can get very tricky for us, or maybe you won't have enough time to get your application done. So take your time, read carefully, and make your best to comply with each and every of the steps or requirements of the Conahcyt, now CECITI scholarship requirements, because I can also provide you with my example. When I applied for it, remember it was almost 3 years ago. Things have changed between my application time and this time, but I believe we have very, very similar things. But I know that, for example, as Olivia said, you have to comply with the whole coming back to Mexico letters, be very specific what you're gonna do. For example, when even though your program may not ask you for a proposal requirement, the CECITI will ask you for it. Because in my experience, my program didn't ask me for a proposal or a protocolo de investigación when we if we go back to Mexico or our experiences, my program didn't ask for it to be admitted, but it could be asked for your CECITI. So in that case, you have to come with a plan, a protocol, research plan, and be very specific about the dates you're gonna put there. Because also I believe that one of the requirements is to be very specific about your calendars in terms of your protocol, your dates, your calendars, and maybe every step and every requirement be specific, because they, as Olivia said, be detailed, because that could be, even though you have everything already, that could be not being specific or detailed could stop or could hinder your application. So those are my experiences. One more time, as I told you, the Conahcyt context, now CECITI context, gives you a peace of mind. I've been very glad to be part of it. Everything is working for me in terms of being part of these of these Conahcyt context community. And I don't know if you would like to ask me anything. You can. I know there will be a question and answer section for us. So thank you, Olivia. I don't know if you would like me to share anything else.
Thank you so much, Valeria, for your testimonial. Like you said, it's a different perspective coming from somebody who supports students to get the scholarship than from a student who actually went through it. So I really, really appreciate your feedback. And if you don't mind, we have a few minutes for a Q&A session. And if you're okay with it, Valeria, if somebody asks a question specific to you, if you wouldn't mind answering. I know that at this time, you may not have all the questions for our audience, that as you go through the application, you may have other questions come up. So if we cannot answer all your questions right now, or you don't have all the questions right now, feel free to reach out to me, to Dr. Indiazzi, to Laura, even Valeria, maybe, I don't know. And we'll be very glad to support you. But for now, I think we could, Dr. Indiazzi, take 1 or 2 questions.
Yes, absolutely. I will just run through them very quickly. And Olivia, I think most of them are to you. So one, Rodrigo is asking, if I was granted Conahcyt in 2014, I want to apply now and I don't have a liberation letter. Am I qualified to apply?
No, you have to have your Carta de Liberación before you're eligible to apply, and it takes some time. So Rodrigo, what I would recommend is start working on that letter. If you don't have it by the May deadline, just make sure to keep working on it and apply next year. But you have to have that Carta de Liberación, that letter that states that you fulfilled all your commitments.
Okay, thank you. And next, the letters we are sending, like the acceptance letter and so on, in what form are we sending them? Are they just PDF? Are they coming from the applicant? Are they coming from us? Where will they come from?
So the letters will come from the graduate school. The letter will come from Dr. Indiazzi in a PDF format. Maybe another letter. They request another letter, which is called Carta de Costos, where you have to state, what the amount of tuition is for the year. And I'm glad I thought about that right now. So that letter of costs has to come from your department, because that's different for each department, right? So, maybe College of Engineering may be a little more expensive than music. I don't know, I'm just making this up. So on that letter, you have to ask your department to write a letter saying that the cost of tuition, and just tuition, please don't have them break it down. Don't say tuition and fees, because Conahcyt doesn't understand that. It has to be one figure, one amount for the whole year, per year. And so to answer your question, you'll get a letter, that letter from your department in a PDF format. You will get your acceptance letter from Dr. Indiazzi in PDF format, and then you'll upload those documents on the Conahcyt platform. So all the instructions to apply are in the Conahcyt website, and they have a guide, so that you'll find the call, the actual document where they say, hey, this is what you need to apply, and then a guide that tells you this is how you apply. But you will be working on the Conahcyt platform, and you can upload the documents there directly. I hope that answers the question.
Yes, it does. And I will just add very quickly that the letter you will get from me, when you send me an email, the letter I will give you will cover everything that Olivia just said. So
Perfect.
Yeah, you'll be receiving a letter from me that covers everything. You don't need to go anywhere else to get the details you need.
So Carta de Costos, so costs and acceptance and dates and things. Thank you, Dr. Indiazzi. That's great.
Yes, absolutely. And then probably the second last one here. What about the research proposal? I visited the Conahcyt website, which directed me to CECITI, and there are no guidelines there on the proposal.
I agree. That's tricky. So the only thing that I could find on the guide, so on the call, it doesn't say anything. But then on the guide, there's a small portion that says you have to upload on that particular field a maximum 3-page pre-proposal talking about the research project or proposal. So my recommendation there, obviously, don't go over the 3 pages. That's the basic one. But then work with your mentor. Valeria, is there anything else you would like to add about that, the pre-proposal, how you worked on it?
Oh, yes. As you said, Olivia, working with your mentor, because even though you were not assigned a mentor yet, because you were already admitted, but not you don't have a mentor yet, you can look at the profiles or the professors of your program, and then you can ask one of your professors to help you out with filling this form, or maybe because sometimes they don't have much time, so you have to be very specific, like what you need help. If you need help from them, where and how, and they can provide you with such. Sometimes it is signing your document, checking on it, give you feedback. But that's all. Looking through the UTEP profiles of your program, and then go ahead and ask some of the professors. Sometimes they are available, sometimes they are not. So you have to keep, pushing for for a next professor that aligns with your interest. Maybe you don't have to be everything sorted out, but you have an idea, so you can work on it.
Thank you, Valeria. And very important here, Olivia, I understand that we are expected to return to Mexico after our studies. Is there a specific number of years I need to work in Mexico to meet the requirements of the fellowship?
That's an important point, and thank you for asking it. So all the rules and regulations you can find on the Reglamento de CESITI, which is also on their website, Reglamento de Becas, but I can tell you that it's a 6-month requirement. It's not a very long time. You had to be back in Mexico for 6 months, and you had to work. It doesn't even have to be paid work. So you can work at a nonprofit, at a university. Obviously, it's a lot better if it's paid, right? and I understand that, but there's no requirement in terms of where you have to work. It can be at a nonprofit, at an industry. It can be at a university, at a research center. But you have to be back in Mexico for 6 months and contribute to the development of the country with your new skills, with your new diploma, which was, partly financed by taxpayers in Mexico. But the answer is 6 months.
Okay, so there are some very good questions here, Olivia. Is employment or the type of employment you have a condition for not being awarded with a scholarship? I think what he's trying to say is, does it matter whether you have a financial need or not?
Not really. So this is mostly based on the quality of the proposal. And that's what they base it on. They don't ask for, as far as I've seen, they don't ask about your income. But if the quality of your proposal is good, what they do is they rank, they see how much money they have for the scholarship, and then they rank the proposals. So they say, these are the top 20 or whatever, and we have money to fund 20. They'll take the top 20, and it's not linked to work. But I'm going to link this question to something that Valeria mentioned, which is very, very important. The ConACYT-CESITI Fellowship does not preclude, so it allows you to work at UTEP. As an international student with an F1 or a J1 visa, you're not allowed to work outside the university, but you can hold a position of a GRA or a TA. And the ConACYT Fellowship is, the essence of the ConACYT Fellowship is to complement the support that your department or your college gives you through the GRA-ship or the TA-ship, not to supplement it. So ConACYT does not limit or prohibit. On the contrary, it encourages you to find additional funding through your college or department.
Okay, we are going to take only 2 more here because I know we are already over time. So what proof of citizenship, of Mexican citizenship, do they require? And how safe is it to share a birth certificate, passport, or photo ID?
I've never heard of a problem of sharing that documentation on the portal, obviously. I mean, it's a secure portal. One piece of documentation that I know they accept is a Mexican passport. But in terms of other documentation, I'm not 100% sure. I would recommend you go into the ConACYT website. Valeria, did you use a passport or did you use a different document to support your Mexican citizenship?
If I'm not wrong, Olivia, I believe they asked for the passport, but I don't know if they asked or I uploaded my passport. Yes, but I uploaded the passport.
So exactly. So I've heard mostly passport, and since we're talking about this, once you get the scholarship, they're going to ask you to upload your visa, so your student visa, and they will not complete the formalization or the setup of the award until you get that student visa and upload it on the platform. They also accept if you have dual citizenship. Obviously, you don't need a visa to be in the U.S. So they also accept, you know, a copy of your or a photo of your U.S. passport. But so, in a nutshell, yes, they accept Mexican passports as proof of citizenship. I'm not sure what if they could take other documents. I don't know if it could be a birth certificate. I doubt it because it needs to have a photo. So I would recommend for that, please go into the ConACYT website to double check. And you said one more, Dr. Indiazzi, right?
Yes, one more here. Jamie is asking, can I apply if my spouse is already, I don't know whether you mean they are already context fellows right now, I think.
Yes, I understand the question, and it's also a very good question. Thank you, Jamie. Yes, definitely. So if your spouse is already has support from Conahcyt or CECITI, here we go, and or if they're context fellows, that doesn't preclude you from receiving the support. The only thing is, and that's very clear on the call, so if your spouse has support from Conahcyt, from CECITI, for the monthly support, remember that I had mentioned, okay, if you're single, you'll get 1,100, and if you have dependents, you'll get 1,375. So if you have two people who receive the support, who receive the fellowship, you cannot get two of 1,375, right? Saying, hey, I've got dependents, and the other one saying, hey, I've got dependents. So what happens is they'll give you both the support as if you were single. So 1,100 each. But that's the only difference. But certainly, yes, definitely you're eligible to apply, and you're eligible to join ConTex. I know we went over. Thank you so much for your patience. We really appreciate it. Here's my contact information. You can look us up on the ConTex website. This is my email, the general email. And if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer emails, take phone calls, coordinate video conferences, whatever is necessary to support you through the process. And I will take one more minute to thank Dr. Indiazzi, to thank all the team of the graduate school, to thank Valeria, especially. Thank you so much, Valeria, for taking the time to talk about your experiences. Thank you, Laura Miranda and the College of Engineering. And thank you, UTEP in general. You've been an incredible partner. There's no way that a third of the applications or the scholarships would go to you guys at UTEP if you weren't doing a great job at promoting this and supporting your students. So thank you so much, and kudos to all of the team, because you obviously do an incredible job, and thank you.
Thank you so much, everybody. I have just shared my email address again, and the graduate school email address. Again, this is the email you'll be using to contact me to request for the support letter. Sorry, we spent a lot of time than we had planned for, but it is for a good reason. We had enough to share with you. We wanted to respond to all your questions, and we will be uploading this PowerPoint to our website so that you can access it, and we will send you the recording as well. Thank you, and have a good night. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye.